Breaking news tonight, the rising toll on children. 2 more die in New York from coronavirus complications. The new fear that the disease may not spare the young.
We're not so sure that that is the fact anymore.
What every parent needs to know.
Tonight, the mystery deepens as the death toll rises in New York among children diagnosed with complications from the coronavirus.
The illness has taken the lives of 3 young New Yorkers.
The state investigating 73 cases.
One of the few rays of good news was young people weren't affected. We're not so sure that that is the fact anymore.
Doctors are calling the illness pediatric multi-system inflammatory syndrome. The symptoms are similar to Kawasaki disease, which could potentially damage the heart or blood vessels. NBC News found cases in at least 8 other states and Washington, D.C. Dr. Jane Newberger is with the American Heart Association's Young Hearts Council.
Why do you think we're learning about these cases now?
It's a later phenomenon than the initial COVID infection, and it does suggest that there is something about the immune system in some individuals that makes you susceptible to react to having had COVID this way.
The growing health concern now reaching the CDC as the agency partners with New York to learn more about the COVID-related illness.
And that's what's so scary about this. First, children are fine, not a problem. And the next thing, look what happened.
Now a parent's worst nightmare as a virus raises more questions. Kathy Park, NBC News, New York.
Here is step 1 underway. Patients are identified according to their license and insurance card. Windows are strongly encouraged to be left up at this time. Tyvek is in. Patient will receive a check-in. Sample bag will be placed on the windshield, and car will proceed forward. Confirms patient, and we'll send them along to the next step. First patient will be waved in the zone. They will proceed through testing. Instruction will be given by the swabber. Bag will be obtained. Patient confirmed. Swab will be performed. Once done, car will leave the testing zone and proceed in an orderly path. Good morning everyone. How are you doing? We are up and running and live at 1319 Chapel Street. For those of you that don't know where 1319 Chapel Street is, it's on the corner of Chapel and Day, right? It's Dr. Kaushal here is the OBGYN on the corner here, right? You can see this is the corner, and obviously we have the Emmanuel Missionary Baptist Church on the corner of Chapel and Day, okay? So we're here up and running and ready to go. There's our team ready to care for the public, all right? To test, treat, isolate, and trace. The governor put an executive order out, all right? The governor put an executive order out for enhancing testing, and I'm so proud of the governor for doing this. But what I want to tell everyone is the following. If you're COVID positive and you don't have a doctor, we will take care of you. We've taken care of patients all over New Haven and Fairfield County, as well as Westchester County, that tested positive for the novel coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2. They tested positive, but they didn't have a doctor. So where do you go? Now that the governor is allowing, oh guys, I got to show you this. Look at all those squirrels. I think the squirrels found a buffet here on the corner of Chapel and Day. So, like I was saying, if you don't have a doctor but you're COVID positive, we will take care of you. If you don't have insurance and you're COVID positive, We will take care of you. At coronatestct.com, you can send a message to us. You can let us know. We will take care of you. Our doctors, our nurse practitioners, our PAs, and our medical students take new patients every day. We let Medicaid and Husky know that we will accept new patients. We are experts at caring for patients that have the novel coronavirus. We are experts at caring remotely. We also have our care pods so we can monitor your blood work. If you have a positive coronavirus test, you need blood work. We need to make sure your kidneys are okay. We need to make sure you're not at risk of clots. We need to make sure your heart is okay. We need to look at your blood counts. So if you've tested positive for the novel coronavirus, you can see us, right? You come and see us. You can set up telemedicine visits or visit our Corona Care Pods, our COVID Care Pods. All right? That's at coronacarect.com. We'll be happy to take care of you. Or you can go through our regular website as well. All right? We're here next to the Emmanuel Missionary Baptist Church here on the corner of Chapel and Day. I want to talk a little bit about the adverse outcomes that can happen with the novel coronavirus and the recent reports of pediatric patients having a Kawasaki virus, right? I mean, Kawasaki's disease. What we're seeing is actually a hybrid between Kawasaki's disease and toxic shock syndrome. We've received communication from the New York State Department of Health indicating that there's this inflammatory condition that is affecting children's skin, their heart, and their blood vessels. We've also read about conditions that have increased risk of encephalitis in children, inflammation in the brain and in the nervous system. So it's very important that we break the myth that kids don't get sick with this virus. They do, and we've seen it. So again, as the governor expands testing at pharmacies, places like CVS, we need to say, that's great, but what's the next step? Test, treat. So we have to make sure that if you're getting tested, that you can get treated. Everyone that wants to be treated should be treated. And everyone that needs to be treated, regardless of insurance, should be treated. And so we've made a very, very big point of that to make sure that anyone who has insurance or not, we can care for them. You know, the federal government has helped with that. The federal government's helped a ton with that. But what we recognize is not everyone has the infrastructure to care for patients that are uninsured. You know, over at St. Rafe's, they've been sending us their uninsured patients, which is okay, right? We can take care of them because we have the infrastructure. One of the most important things is right here. No out-of-pocket costs to anyone. No out-of-pocket costs to anyone, regardless of whether you have insurance or not. We won't bill you. We won't put you in collections. We won't put a lien on your house. We won't put a lien on your car. If you don't have insurance, we'll take care of you. If you do have insurance, we'll take care of you. If you're a citizen, we'll take care of you. If you're not a formal citizen, we'll still take care of you. All right? That's the most important thing I have to say right now. We are all in this together. And so here we are at Chapel on the corner of Chapel and Day at 1319 Chapel. Thank you to Mayor Elliker and Director Bond. The next phase is to begin testing in the nursing homes. And so our rapid response teams will answer the call Monday. Monday will be located in a nursing home testing center. We're going to be testing for 10 hours straight. There are a lot of patients and a lot of employees in these areas that need to be tested. Director Bond gives her updates daily on the nursing homes. We're here to help, right? Dr. Murphy with Murphy Medical Associates and coronatestct.com. Yes, I know my fit mask test size. This is tight, okay? This is a tight one. Now, My favorite masks are the 3M blue masks, okay? They're the 3M blue masks. Now, one of the problems you can see is I've got a little steam in this mask right now. And one of the things you got to notice is if you got steam, that means you have a leak, all right? So I'm definitely going to have to adjust this. So thanks for asking. I appreciate it. Now, I want everyone to really, really understand we're all in this together. The amount of tribalism that I've experienced with other healthcare organizations, I understand. They're terrified about their revenue. But to try and create a monopoly on coronavirus testing is crazy, right? The health system across the street from me, they sent lawyers over to our office in Stratford. They threatened our property manager, right? That was not good. That's not cool. The hospital across the street from us sent a couple nurses over to bully us here at 1319 Chapel. That's not okay. That's not good. What we need to do is work together to care for these patients long term, to care for the city of my birth long term. So here I am in New Haven with our team and our MRC. Yeah, I know, wow. But that's the kind of dirty tricks, and here's the deal. That has been standard operating procedure for the New Haven health system. That's been standard operating procedure for smaller hospitals as well, right? That's standard operating procedure. What now we're seeing is that someone's shining a light on these dirty practices. Some people say it's just because business people are now in medicine. That's not true. Doctors and nurses back in the day had a set of tribalism as well. Our team is better than your team, right? And I get it. It's competition. Competition is the American way. But you need to do it on the battlefield, right? You need to make more baskets. You need to score more touchdowns. How do you do that? You save more lives. You keep people out of a hospital, right? If we can say our hospitalization rate is lower and our mortality rate is lower and our vaccination rate is higher, that's where you win. And that's where you can say you're doing a better job. So little dirty tricks with lawyers and intimidation, that's not okay. So, as I was born, exactly, if you want to compete, make it a healthy competition. See how healthy you can keep your patients. That's the key. All right? None of this, a lawyer and RVUs, and if you hurt our volume, we'll sue you. Well, no, time out, right? Time out. Let's take care of the city, right? I'm here to take care of the city of my birth. I'm here in New Haven now. We're going to get a shipment of N95s here. So that has been very helpful for us. So I want to thank the Fairfield County Medical Association, who is bringing us masks today, right? We need to get our medical associations together. We need to get the private practices together. We need to get the hospitals together. We're all in this together. Together. End of story. So here we are, 1319 Chapel. This is Dr. Murphy with Murphy Medical Associates and coronatestct.com. Thanking Director Bond, thanking Mayor Elliker, thanking Daisy from the Medical Reserve Corps so we can stand up our walk-through testing center right next to Amistad Academy right behind me. Have a great day. Enjoy each other. Hopefully the rain holds off and we have a very successful day of testing. It's Dr. Murphy, Corona Test CT, signing off. Dr. Murphy signing off. You're welcome. Have a great day. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing? I want to see how things were going with everyone. We're here. I'm at our site at Cummings Beach. Hi, Linda. Good to hear you. So I'm here at our site at Cummings Beach where I just interviewed the lead for our contact tracing team. So we're assembling software to be able to assist departments of public health with effectively developing heat maps and being able to trace You know, the final step in all of this is tracing. The governor has given the green light for anyone, if they want a test, to have a test in the state of Connecticut without having to go to a doctor's office. Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? And, you know, what's funny about this is that I remember how up in arms health systems and other doctors were that we were just going to test everyone. It's bad medicine, you're restricting tests, you got to screen people. Hey, Linda. So I kept saying to myself, yes, we'll do a telemedicine visit, and we'll make sure they don't have influenza. But if we would have tested all of those people rather than turn them away from emergency rooms, hospitals, urgent care clinics, I wonder if we could have flattened the curve quicker. You know, everyone is always hindsight and all those other things, right? I mean, the CDC was telling people not to be tested unless you had exposure to people from Wuhan. In the end, that's just crazy. I think it's all really crazy. I think we should be doing simple stuff. Test, treat, isolate, and trace. And now, with Catherine Snedeker here, I'm really actually very excited about building that contact tracing team with Dr. Israel as well. So we're putting it all together. I think in the next week we'll have a really solid contact tracing team where we can begin to help different organizations like Sikorsky, who I just met with today. We're going to have another meeting and probably set up a corporate site for Sikorsky. And I think that's a smart move for us. We're going to continue to do that with lots of other companies. The antibody tests, right? So currently we use LabCorp and Quest, which use the Abbott Architect machine. They also use the Euronext machine. But these are immunoassay machines. In my lab, we have a Beckman DXi. And we think that at the middle of May, we'll have our own antibody testing immunoassay protocols as well. So I'm here at the Rain at our testing site. You see it over my shoulder here, right? You see where it is, right? There's our testing site right there. I'm out here kind of watching everything and seeing where we're at. So I come out here onto the sound to think a little bit and think through what the next steps are. I think contact tracing apps are going to be useful. I think that corporations really need to have a strong corporate health policy as they bring workers back in the space. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about helping a lot of corporations bring workers back in space and bring Connecticut back to life. But the first step of that is test. If we can't test, we can't do the rest. So, contact tracing team coming together. Testing team, including our offer to all nursing homes in the state. If you want to be tested, let us know. Let us know. We will come to your nursing home. We will test. We will test. We will treat. We will isolate. Okay? We will help you and we will contact trace. Even your employees. Whoever wants a test, they'll get a test. You can offer it from us, Murphy Medical Associates, and our team at coronatestct.com. So, I'm very happy today, even though I'm standing out here in the rain, because we've got a great contact tracing team put together. We're on the map. I know. You know what? I'll tell you what, Linda. I'm just going to drive up to Bloomfield myself, grab my Tyvek suit, and I will test you. I don't understand why your town's Department of Public Health has not put together something for this. And they didn't call me either. I may have to drive all the way up to Bloomfield to test you. But I got to find the time to do that. And right now, I got to get back to the line. So, I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. I'm here to tell you that lots of different ways to test are coming on board. I'm very excited about it. Lots of ways to treat, including our COVID care pods, right? Where we're going to do ultrasounds and blood work on people. Man, one of the big things we're now seeing is cardiac enzymes, CKMBs, are elevated. So you have to do an echocardiogram. Well, you can't wait for that. And if you're COVID positive, you've got to do it somewhere. You're not going to do it in a cardiologist's office. So we've created our care pods where you can get a secure COVID positive ultrasound, echocardiogram, to make sure your heart looks okay. All right? That's part of our deal. We're here to take care of Connecticut at Murphy Medical Associates. You can register at coronacarect.com. That website is coronacarect.com. And we've linked there with coronatestct.com. So if you test positive, you need care. There are not a lot of people out there that are going to give you care right now, but we're here for you. Okay? coronacarect.com. coronacarect.com. All right, it's Dr. Murphy. Hope you have a good afternoon. I've got to get back to work. Take care. Love you guys. Be good to each other. We are all in this together. Bye.
Happy Mother's Day to all the fine mothers out there. I want to thank my mom for teaching me to never give up and to accept failure and learn from it. You know, that's what life is, right? It's our mothers picking us up when we fall down and teaching us to get back up again, right? So I want to thank you, Mom. It's so important. You know, I got to tell you, time and time again, the key is to get back up. Fall down, get back up. Fall down, get back up. If we can manage to do that, we're going to succeed sooner or later. It's just the human nature. Good morning, Linda. It's just human nature. It's human nature to persevere and get back up. You know, the tough part is many people are beat down so bad that they are done getting back up. We need to help those people. We need to help those people get back up. We need to nurture them. If their mothers are not in their lives, we need to find a way to help them. Can't begin to tell everyone how much mothers matter in this world. I think as a whole, civilizations would not really be very effective without mothers. It's just the way it is. I don't know whether I want to propose a debate with philosophers about the value of motherhood or not, but I think after centuries, millennia on this earth, I think human beings and civilization have benefited generally by mothers, right? So it's something I'd like to keep around. So happy Mother's Day. I want to talk a little bit today about failure. I'm not the guy who's going to get political on you, so don't expect a huge political diatribe about this tribe or that tribe or whoever did things right or not, but I'm going to speak in big principles, especially when it comes to failure. There were a lot of things we could have done better with this pandemic. There's a lot of things we could have done better. I think we see it all in the news. We had the opportunity to make N95 masks. Yes. The property managers could have not given me crap, and I could have ran testing centers all day long rather than, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. Yeah. Could they have not written cease and desist letters? Yeah. Could we have closed the hair salons earlier? Yeah. Could we have made sure that grocery stores were prepared for this stuff earlier? Yeah. Could the pandemic and infectious disease programs in nursing homes prior to coronavirus have been adhered to? Yes. Could we have better sick leave policies? Yes. Were these failures? Yes. Can we learn from them? Yes. And so that is the hope here as people push to open up America. Our governors are going to take very detailed steps with that. I want to thank Governor Lamont. I almost called him Dr. Lamont. Not bad. You get a field promotion, Governor. I want to thank Governor Lamont for laying out some very specific details. These are an experiment. We're going to have to refine the details after, right? I'm working with local departments of public health for this sort of thing right now, refining the details. Yes, you can't use blow dryers in hair salons, but what other ventilation issues might there be? Okay, yes, you have to be by appointment only, but are you really going to turn down those walk-ins? Are you business owners really going to adhere to that? Or are the economics of the situation going to drive you? I got to tell you, money is a very powerful force, and many people have failed because of money. And so who's going to enforce these business owners? Well, you hope they police themselves. You know, one of the things about a profession is that it polices itself. So doctors, lawyers, architects, accountants, they have an inherent self-policing mechanism. Do hair salons? Do gyms? Do delis have self-policing mechanisms? I think we need to all be good stewards of our businesses. I'm a small business owner and I've failed, so many times. Wait, I tell you about the juice business I went into with partners who thought they had the system beat, only to recognize that they didn't. You're right, things have to change for the better, right? And we have to be very mindful of that, right? All of us need to be in a mindset of infectious disease transmission and prevention. Whether you're in a gym, whether you're in a hair salon, whether you're in a barbershop, whether you're in a bank, or whether you are on a hedge fund floor, or whether you are in a meat packing plant, I could go on and on and on. Every business, small, medium, and large, need to take infectious disease prevention precautions seriously, just as seriously as you take workplace injuries, because this is a workplace injury, regardless of whatever your field you're in, right? I already know lawyers right now looking to sue businesses for not providing the right personal protective equipment, otherwise called PPE. I know them right now. They are headed straight at these small business owners to sue them if they don't get the right PPE. So if you don't have the PPE, should you be opening? That's it, I leave that to the governor. But what I do know is that this experiment is doomed to have some failure. Linda, I know, right? We want to control everything, right? They call this a paternalistic mindset, right? A maternalistic mindset, right? It's Mother's Day. We want to helicopter parent our children, right? We want to helicopter parent our businesses. We want to helicopter parent our employees. We can't do it. We can't do it. There will be failures. Do I think today is the right time? Well, the president laid out some guidelines, decreasing hospitalizations, but I got to tell you at the same time, part of the reason hospitalizations are going down is because there are primary care physicians doing telemedicine visits. It's not just our practice at Murphy Medical Associates. Lots of large practices finally have geared up. Small practices too finally have geared up and are doing telemedicine visits. The problem still is that we can prescribe meds, but a lot of places can't draw labs. Coronavirus positive patients still can't get outpatient CT scans or ultrasounds. Thanks Connecticut Radiologic Society for opposing my plan. That's wonderful. Right. Everything needs to be different, Linda. Everything does. Spacing, volume, density, employee checks, right? We know temperature checks by themselves are not effective. They're not going to be the way to track that asymptomatic carrier. So now you need a testing strategy, right? You need a testing strategy. The gold standard is the nasal swab. Now we're starting to get more of the nice swabs back, so it doesn't have to be as harsh. The finger prick cards are not useful for IgG and IgM. It's not a useful card to detect current infection. And the antigen test that everyone is touting now, again, it's like the Abbott machine, except worse. They have a much larger false negative rate. totally agree with you, Linda. And I said before, once I get things ratcheted in, we'll find a strategy for you to get tested. Even if it means me faxing a script to the Hartford healthcare system, which, by the way, did a kind of a dastardly thing. They only let physicians that are part of the Hartford healthcare system order nasopharyngeal swab tests, order coronavirus testing. So you had to be part of their system to order the test. I don't quite understand that regulation, right? If you're a freestanding lab, you should be able to accept tests. But Quest and LabCorp are up there, and we'll be happy. You give us your details, and if we need to, I know, but if we need to, we can always order you a test until I get up there. So, I believe employees need to be tested. Employees need to be tested on a regular basis. What is that regular basis? Is it 1 week? Is it 2 weeks? Is it every 3 days? I don't think anyone really knows. But we do know this. The longer you're in contact with people, the higher your risk of transmitting the disease. The closer you are to people, the higher risk of transmitting the disease. That's all. So if you're going to be up in someone's face for a long amount of time, like a barber or a hairstylist or a colorist or a nail salon person, okay, or a personal trainer, you should get tested regularly. Or you should be in an N95 mask and gloves at all times with patient contact. N95. Okay? If you have symptoms, you should not work. Now, the social justice part of that speaks to me and says, what about the people that have to work? The essential employees. This is difficult. I know in the city of Stamford, we are screening essential employees. We are screening them. We're taking them out of the workforce and we're quarantining them. Okay? We're putting them on isolation, and then when they're positive, full quarantine. And when they stop shedding the RNA particles of the virus, we put them back to work. Yeah, I think every store needs to have a strategy. They need to have use what the governor has, and then we have to decide what we're going to do for enforcement. Now, if I would have had a consultant to help me, right? Who's going to afford a consultant right now? Well, I'm working with a couple of really great consultants to try and find grants to pay for this sort of stuff for the small businesses. I think that's going to be a big help. So if I would have had a consultant, we wouldn't have gotten on the wrong side with the state. News America, Linda, that's awesome. That's a great business. So it sounds like you put ads out there. All right, with small businesses opening, it sounds like you're going to be back in business. We're going to need marketing and advertising to tell people that these businesses are up and running and that they are safe, right? We have to have consumer confidence. Okay. News America, Linda. I'm on it. I will put that on my list of people I got to contact this week, because I have a bunch of people I got to contact this week. Today is Mother's Day. All right. I want you to go spend some time with your mothers. And if your mothers have passed, I want you to spend some time remembering them. You know, my dad passed in September, right? I got two dads, right? My biological father, who I lost contact with a long time ago, and I reconnected with him. And the guy who raised me, Murphy, right? Lyndon Murphy from rural Pennsylvania, that told me that, oh, that'd be great, Linda, thank you. My dad, Daddy Murphy, right? We called him at first. So my father, Lyndon Murphy, said, work is hard. That's why they call it work. And my arrogant little 16-year-old butt said to him, That's not true. What if you enjoy work? What if work is play? Then it's not really work, is it, Dad? And he laughed and he said, yeah, good luck finding that job. Well, I did. Every day is play for me. I love what I do as a doctor. I absolutely love it. It's work, and there are some things in it I don't like, but guess what? I love what I do. Every day is a joy. So don't cry for me, Argentina, right? I'm doing just fine caring for the citizens in the state of Connecticut with coronatestct.com, doing testing, doing treating, isolating, and now our contact tracing team is getting up and running. Yes! Okay? And we're putting it all together to help small businesses, large businesses, and medium-sized businesses. This week we help a staple of Connecticut. I'll talk more about it when we're closer to the date. But we're really happy to help corporations stay healthy, right? We want healthy businesses, small businesses, medium businesses, and large businesses. This one is a large business. We're going to help a pretty big business stay healthy in an industry that is needed. So I'm very happy for that. In addition, this week, we are going into the nursing homes. We're going to be testing, treating, isolating, and tracing, right? We're going to contact trace employees. We're going to test residents and keep them safe. Because unfortunately, the nursing home residents took the largest brunt here. The nursing home employees took a huge hit here. It's our time to make them healthy. That's our job at Murphy Medical Associates and coronatestct.com. Have a great Mother's Day. Thank your mother for all that she did for you. If your mother is not alive anymore, like I said, my dad, Alberto Perez Rivera, has passed. But every day I take something that he taught me or something that he did, and I remember it, and I integrate it into who I am. And just doing little things like that really bring him back for me. So if your mom has passed, take some time to remember what she did for you and what she told you. There's wisdom in mothers. We need to integrate it into us right now. Our government needs to integrate it into itself. Remember what our mothers told us. Learn from it. We could use some motherly wisdom right now. This is Dr. Murphy with Murphy Medical Associates and coronatestct.com signing off. Have a great Mother's Day. Love you guys. Bye.
Everybody, how are you doing? I feel like Captain Kirk. Maybe I should do Star Log or Captain's Log. Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? Shouldn't you be working? All right, I hope you're well. I hope you're enjoying phlebotomy stuff going on, dude. I hope you're learning a lot. So I'm here at Amistad Academy, the middle school here in New Haven, on the corner of Chapel and Day. I am... Yeah, I know. Oh, all right. Soon, right? Soon. Get that phlebotomy stuff done, man. We want you back. So, hey, Linda, what's going on? Good morning, good morning. I'm going to have a little bit of coffee here. My coffee that I made this morning, Maxwell House. That's right, Maxwell House. They can get the brand shout out. Hopefully you'll be like Rise Brewing Company that donated coffee to all of our volunteers. They did a fantastic job at Rise Brewing Company. So I want to talk today about two things. The first one is reopening. All right, reopening. And while I am sensitive to the plight of every single nutmegger out there and the businesses that we have to start, and even though the hair salon above us complained about what we were trying to do and eventually led to us getting a cease and desist letter, I am sensitive to hair salons. I am sensitive to nail salons. These are very hard businesses to run. These are very hard businesses to run. But like the nursing home, right? They had sanitary care plans
that should have been followed and carried out. Unfortunately, they weren't, and so a lot of people got sick in hair salons and nail salons. This happened in Korea too. This happened in China too. Why? So I think we should revisit that. And one of the things I want to revisit is the fact that the governor said that we can open up hair salons, but can't use blow dryers. Now, technically, how do you open up a hair salon without using blow dryers? I get where it's coming from. You're coloring hair, you're styling hair, you have the blow dryer, the head blow dryers, the heated dryers on. You need these things. Here's the problem. It aerosolizes virus. So you have two choices. First choice, open hair salons and allow aerosolization of viruses. Or don't open hair salons. Don't open hair salons till you get that under control. This is a grand experiment in the state of Connecticut, not one I would have chosen to undertake, but then again, I'm not the governor. I understand the need to use blow dryers in hair salons. I will tell you this, there are a bunch of lawyers out there waiting to sue people who do not, business owners, who do not take the right precautions protecting their clients and protecting their employees. So, here's what I would do. If I was in a hair salon, everyone would be in Tyvek suits, you'd be cabbie wiping down, and you would be in N95 masks. You can quote me on that, lawyers. You can quote me on that, small business owners, because if you're gonna blow around particles, yeah, that's another thing too, is dentist office. And the dentists are actually doing really good studies on aerosolization, and it turns out the oral cavity aerosolization is a lot less when you're in the mouth than coughing or bronching. So compared to other medical procedures, it's less, but it's still a medical procedure, it's a dental procedure. But in the hair salons, I want to talk about this. You're blowing that stuff everywhere, number one. Number two, there's a ventilation system, right? There's a ventilation system. And in fact, in our building, the ventilation system dumps into our office. So I'm going to let the legal team of my property know that the ventilation system is not fit for the hair salon. So if you're a hair salon and you're sensitive to this, you want to do it the right way. You want my honest opinion? Do it outside. Figure out a way. It's summertime's coming. Figure out a way to run your hair salon outside. Because inside, I think we're going to find it's a grand experiment that's not going to be so good, especially if someone with coronavirus goes in. So that's thing one. All right, that's thing one I want to talk about. Now, how do you know that they don't have coronavirus? Well, you can test them before they go in. And the gold standard is the PCR test. The gold standard is the PCR test. We do know there's false negatives with a PCR test, but they're low. They're low. Everyone is excited about the Abbott ID Now machines, but they have a much higher false negative rate and can miss about 20 to 30% of tests. 20 to 30%. That's concerning. So I'm not a big fan of the Abbott ID Now machines. I'll say it again. Just because it's a fast test doesn't make it the best test. And so I'm not a big fan of those. I wouldn't advocate them as point of care to rule out coronavirus. That's number one. Number two, everyone is excited about antigen tests, right? Like the Sophia machine with Quidel. Let me tell you a secret. The history we have on those machines is even worse than the Abbott ID Now machines. People think you could miss 30 up to 40% of cases. I mean, once you get to 50%, it's coin toss. You might as well just not run any machine. I have deep concerns here. Deep concerns here. What I think we should do is we should move to the 45-minute CLIA-waived COVID test made by BioFire Diagnostics. It's a much more accurate machine. We should have CLIA-waived 45-minute test swabs. You come, you wait in your car, you get swabbed, you're negative in 45 minutes, you then go to your hair appointment, or you then go to your dentist office, or you then go to get you ambulatory surgery. There has to be a better testing strategy. Test, treat, isolate, and trace. And what we need to do is get the EUA for the BioFire Diagnostics CLIA-waived COVID test. When you do that, you're in a better spot. Medical offices everywhere can go and get a CLIA-waived machine. You're going to get a CLIA-waived machine. Now that'll only test one person every 45 minutes, and there's some capacity issues, but it's better than nothing, guys. It's better than nothing. And frankly, I do not like the antigen testing with the Sophia machine the same way I do not like the Abbott ID Now machine. In fact, the Abbott ID Now machine that's run down. Yeah, right. So you can cut out a lot of simple carbs and you will help reduce inflammation. There's no doubt about it, right? There's no doubt. As a low carb doctor, right? I advocate a low carb lifestyle. Simple carbohydrates, processed foods, these things are bad for us. They are bad for us. Our body is not set up to beat down inflammation with a bunch of simple carbs. It just isn't, right? Insulin goes up, cortisol goes up. These are bad things. So, in short, two things I want to talk about today. Yeah, right. Linda, here's a tip. Sugar is a carbohydrate. Bread is a carbohydrate. Simple starches are carbohydrates. That's why I call them carbs. When you eat the carb, it goes into your intestines, and there are enzymes called disaccharidases. The disaccharidases break down simple carbohydrates, turn them into sugar. When it goes into your liver, it's sugar. When it goes into your liver, it's sugar. Whether it was a Snickers bar or whether it was cornstarch. These turn into sugars. Those sugars circulate in your bloodstream. They set off a cascade of pro-inflammatory events. Not good. Not good at all. They do spike dopamine in your brain, so you think you're doing good, right? You feel good. Well, cocaine does the same thing. Drugs do the same thing. But we know a lot of drugs are not good for us either, right? That's all. That's all. My goal here is to test, treat, isolate, and trace. And now I'm going to mix in a little bit of my public health and weight loss skills because I've really been neglecting them. So I agree. Cut your carbs, increase your vitamin D, increase your good fats. Okay? Omega-3 fats up, omega-6 fats down. Now, any athlete is going to say, oh, omega-6s are great for muscles. Yeah, but they're pro-inflammatory. They cause a creation of fats and changes, including arachidonic acid, which is a pro-inflammatory IL-6 stimulated molecule. Okay? Not good. We're trying to block IL-6, not activate. So, low carb diets, much better. Vitamin D for you, much better. Don't use the Quidel antigen test to screen populations. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? It is a recipe for disaster. Next, opening hair salons and allowing blow dryers is a grand experiment that I don't want to be a part of. I love you, Governor Lamont. I think you've worked very hard, and I recognize the political will and the pressure here to do this. It's an experiment. I'll be here to test, treat, isolate, and trace. Right, we've got our contact tracing team ready, and we'll look at the hot spots around hair salons. We're just going to do it, and we're here for you at Murphy Medical Associates and our team at coronatestct.com. That's coronatestct.com. We're here to test, treat, isolate, and trace. All right, it's Dr. Murphy. I love you guys. It's 8:26. Have a great day. Go make the best of your day. Go get it. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? I wanted to say hi and how are things going. I wanted to give you guys an update. You know, I was talking the other day about antigen testing and how I think it's subpar. I just don't think the Sophia Quidel machine really matches up to PCR testing, especially for screening and especially for asymptomatic patients. It just has a high false negative rate. It can miss like 30% of positives. So does that mean other doctors are not going to use the testing? No. It just means I won't use the testing. So does that mean I'm going to call other doctors names and tell them that they're not smart? No. I'm going to say maybe they just don't have everyone throw tomatoes, right? So I don't think everyone, has the same tools, and that's okay. Not everyone feels comfortable with the same tools. We don't like the Sophia Quidel, and so we're going to be not using it. We're not going to be using it. Other doctors can use it. Does it mean that it's a bad doctor? No. I think that the doctor's doing the best that they can, right? I think they're doing the best that they can, and that's all that there is. So today I found it really frustrating, right? When I had another group tell me that we were stealing their patients. And I want to let everyone know, every human being has autonomy. That's one of the most important medical ethics principles out there is autonomy. The patients can decide where to go. Patients can decide what to do. It doesn't matter who they are and it doesn't matter. They have, bye, Dua Lipa. So patients have rights to do whatever they want. And in this case, we are going to encourage the patients not to use the Sophia Quidel, and we're going to offer other services. And I think that's the best you can do as a doctor is if someone's doing something you don't agree with, well, you should offer a counter service and explain why, right? I think that that's the best way. I'm not going to attack the other doctors. Every doctor's got their own position. They do their own things based on the evidence, and that's why it's called the art of medicine. It's not perfect science. And when it comes to this novel coronavirus, it's not science at all. We learn new stuff every day, so we have to keep an open mind and have an intellectual curiosity, which is a really good point I want to get to. A few weeks ago, representatives from the town of Ridgefield came down, and I gave them our playbook, much like I did New Vance and that team over there at Norwalk and Denbury Hospital. I met with them. I gave them our playbook. So I gave Ridgefield our playbook. Their first selectman, Rudy Marconi, had COVID and has recovered nicely. It's very good. And so I gave them our playbook, and I said, call us if you need us. Well, they called. We went back and forth and talked a little bit. But as we got more and more work, right, we're going into nursing homes, and we're doing what they call PPS screenings, right? We're going to identify who's sick in the nursing homes. We're going to identify who's sick in the nursing homes. We're doing that in Connecticut. We're doing the opposite in New York, where we're actually actively screening the employees. And the governor in New York, Governor Cuomo, is asked to do that twice a week. So we're going to be testing nursing home employees in New York. And in Connecticut, we're going to be testing nursing home residents. I think, guess what? Pretty soon we're going to find out we have to do both. But again, I don't step on any of the governor's toes. They have to get through this on their own. It's a political process. But ultimately, we should be testing, treating, isolating, and tracing everyone, not just nursing home employees or nursing home residents. We have to do both. And so that's why it's so important that I don't want to hold up Ridgefield, right? And I'm telling you right now, Murphy Medical Associates will answer the call. But I think if Ridgefield has another player, another primary care physician willing to answer the call, we'll help them, right? The town of Ridgefield, Connecticut has our playbook. We're happy to help whoever is going to be running their drive-thrus. So I hope that it's the New Vance team because they already have our playbook and they do a great job. But if it's not and it's another physician, I'm happy to help them. Murphy Medical Associates is happy to help, right? We want to help everyone, including Linda and Bloomfield, right? Linda and Bloomfield, who I'm working on getting out to you, Linda. We've made a couple calls in Hartford, so hopefully we'll continue to move through that, all right? But until then, if you feel symptoms, shelter in place, stay home, stay safe. So those are the two things I want to talk about tonight, right? It's a beautiful night. I mean, look at it outside. It's gorgeous. The sun is coming down. See, I got a little raised bed garden there, right? And we capture some of the bugs. And you know, we kind of try to do it safe, organic gardening, and all of these things without getting Lyme disease. Remember, not all fevers are COVID. You could have Lyme disease. The ticks are out. I had to pick a couple off of me the other day. It's real. Ticks are here. So, where do I stand? Patients have autonomy. They are not owned by a healthcare system. They are not owned by a doctor. Patients own their own body. Patients are going to do testing that they want to do. Patients are going to people who are willing to care for them. Listen, I'm happy with the patient going back to their primary care physician if that primary care physician is going to take care of them. It's going to do the right thing. That's great. And if they're not, we're here for you, right? That's the whole thing behind coronacarect.com, where we can do telemedicine consultations for patients whose doctors may not be working. A lot of practices shut down, so there's not a lot of doctors around. So we're here. We're here to do testing at coronatestct.com. We're here to do corona care at coronacarect.com. Those are our websites. It's simple. They interact with each other all the time. So we're here to test, treat, right? Test, treat, that's care. Isolate and trace, right? We're working on our tracing team. I just met again with Dr. David Israel, and I met with Catherine Snedeker, who's making inroads with the state, working on our tracing, our contact tracing plan, so we can help the state. Because I think it's going to be important. We not just help our towns and help our cities and help our counties, but we're going to have to help our states. And I'm here for New York. I'm here for Connecticut, both states. We're going to have a top-notch contact tracing team. We're putting them together and training them as we speak. All right? I am here to help. And anyone who wants to shoot arrows at me, go ahead. It's fine. I've got a tough skin. And I'm here for you, the patient. Okay? Patient has autonomy. Autonomy, beneficence, and justice. These are the things that drive medical ethics. And in this case, I choose patient autonomy. The patient chooses what tests they get. The patient chooses the providers they see. End of story. There's no other way around it. I'm here for you, right? Dr. Murphy and our team at coronatestct.com, Murphy Medical Associates, are here for you to help walk you through this scary pandemic. And it's scary. But if you have someone like a Sherpa to help walk you through the process, then it's all going to be okay. We're here and we're willing to be that Sherpa for you. All right? That's it. Good luck to Ridgefield. If you need us, we're here. We think that we're a little busy with a lot of other places right now and projects, but if you ever need us, Ridgefield, we're here for you. Okay, we're here for you. You have our playbook, right? I talked to Dr. Javed. We're here for you. You have our playbook. You know how we operate. You came down, you toured the facilities. First Selectman Marconi, we're here for you. Whatever you need, okay? We wish you luck. We hope that you test, you treat, you isolate and trace, and you can help keep your community safe. This is Dr. Murphy, Murphy Medical Associates, signing off for the night. Have a great night. Got a lot of work to do. We've got a bunch of different big corporations we got to work on. We've got to prepare our strategy for the nursing homes that we're testing this week and this weekend, okay? And this weekend in Bedford Hills too. All right? Have a great night. Try and get some exercise and then get some good rest. Get off electronics and be good to each other. All right. Love you guys. Have a great night. It's Dr. Murphy. Bye-bye.